What's up? What's up, guys? How's all my beautiful people doing out there? I hope y'all are doing good. Welcome to the weekly energy report. What's up? What's up, guys? How's all my beautiful people? It's going to be all right. Thank you guys for joining in on Instagram and on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is gonna be one hell of a week. So very exciting stuff, but I also wanted to talk about just some intuitive and energetic experience that I've had that I think are remnants of exactly what's going on. And by the way, just to recap real quick as to what I went live with about earlier, I was at Las Vegas, LV Holistic Health, and was doing some ozone therapy there. That place is just incredible. If you live in Las Vegas, definitely go check them out. Tell Dr. Nicole I sent you. Good fucking morning is right. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello. So much to talk about. A lot of really intense, crazy energies going on. And of course, that's been the norm here for quite some time, but there is this place that we're at right now. This what's up, Steve? How you doing, brother? There is energy right now, right? We're starting to see a lot of people, and you can see it on social media a lot, but we're starting to see a lot of people right now that are suddenly just popping up all over the place, like, yeah, what's up? Like I'm living my best life and I'm making shit happen. I'm going out, I'm doing my thing, and I'm loving being me, right? So that is the epiphanies, the breakdown and breakthrough aspects that are coming through on a large scale. It's really intense. It's a really beautiful thing to see, right? So people are in really one of two places right now. They're either in the breakdown phase or they've broken through, and now they're in the new energy phase. Now, this new energy phase still has some twists and turns going on in it, right? But this is really where we are seeing where we need to take our power back, okay? And taking our power back is so important. This is this Kundalini energy that we are embracing now with all this Uranus activation. And I want to give a shout out real quick to an old dear friend of mine that haven't seen her in a long time, but I've been she's a prime example of stepping into that power. Her name is Anna Barnes, Anna Doll on Instagram and Facebook, I believe. But she is a prime example of standing in your power and with healthy emotional boundaries, right? This is where, like, clearly something happened where, like dating, the same kind of person over and over again, you finally click and see, wow, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of settling for what I don't deserve. And it's ironic that we allow that, right? We allow it from a place of self-worth or lack thereof, or somewhere where we believe that we have to play this certain role in society or in life. It's from this conditioned behavior from we were growing up. And we are really starting to see that now. When we step into our power, when we step into our authenticity, when we step into our truth, it's going to piss people off. That's how it works, right? When you start to live your truth and start to stand in your power, it aggravates people's demons. It aggravates people's insecurities. People see you happy, they're like, oh, they're stuck up, or they're just, like they're lucky because they're good looking, or they just have a lot of money, or they just have this or that, the other thing. Guys, so if there are people that you see out there that are doing well, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, I've noticed, over the last like 8-9 years or so, I've really worked my ass off to become successful, my version of what I believe success is. And it's there, we create this, what Teal Swan calls an overlay, right? This vision, this idea of what a relationship needs to look like, or what success needs to look like, or what our life needs to look like for us to be happy. But that's that destination preoccupation. And when we, you know, whenever we have these expectations, guys, expectation is the root of all suffering. So really it comes down to, you know, like, well, I accept my life, I accept where I'm at, you know, shifting your narrative and your perspective and your perception to accepting where you're at, you know, appreciating, having gratitude for where we are. And, you know, for me personally, I've been having this really, really nasty, you know, back pain that's sort of come and gone over the last few years. But really in this last like month, it's been super intense. And also I want to give a quick shout out to my super homie, Marumatu at Some Soul Astrology, and also David Palma at Energy is Truth. Those guys are magicians and they are healers and they are just, they are masters of what they do. What's up, Sonia? So this is where we are having these climaxes or these culmination points, right? My back was freaking killing me, and I was with those guys this past weekend, and we did a ceremony, right? And this ceremony was different than any other that I've ever experienced. I sat down and I did this, you know, like I was practicing silence for, you know, from when I walked into the ceremonial space, you know, until the plants chose to have me open up my throat chakra. So at practicing silence, I learned and I realized that this deep pain in my back, in my heart chakra on my right side, so it's my masculine energy, right, which is on par. What's up, Kim? Which is on par with the Mars retrograde. I'm an Aries rising, so Mars is, you know, a very powerful, dominant energy in my field. And I've been feeling incredibly frustrated at this lack of progress, at this lack of feeling passion, like in a given relationship, right? Like I didn't know why. Like whatever I'm attracting, it's like I'm not feeling what I'm expecting to feel. And it's been incredibly frustrating. And not only that, not making as much money as I want to make, not being in as good a shape as I want to be, right? Like I'm like, I have to be the best at everything. So as I was sitting with this, and, you know, the first night of ceremony was really just it was really nothing. I just had to sit with this feeling. And you know, this feeling is, you know, comes with this pain associated with it, my freaking back. And I've tried a lot of things, like, you know, whenever I have something like this going on, I go into it, right? And I really make sure that I do everything I can to look at it and attempt to figure it out. Because in order to be able to move through it, you have to identify the lesson that's being learned from it. So during the ceremony, my boy, David, he made some adjustments in my back while during ceremony, and my body was super relaxed, so it popped something open, and then I started to purge, which I was like, yes, all right, purge, let's go. And it was a good purge, you know, like I was feeling like, all right, finally, like this is coming out, this is great, this is what I wanted. And suddenly David comes up to me and he's like, drink water, drink, go. And I'm like, whoa, fuck, dude, like slow down. And like, as doing this, like, I'm trying to keep up with, like, you know, I want to ask, like, what's going on? Did something happen? But he's like, don't ask questions, just go. So I'm like, okay, this is requiring full trust, full faith in the process, full like letting go. And I drank, and then I gave me some other purgative stuff to drink, Agua de Florida. And it was just crazy. I literally, it was almost like I went and almost till I lost consciousness. And then finally, like I literally, my body just slowed down. And when it slowed down, I was just like, you know, ugh. And then suddenly it just erupted out of me. I probably like 30 seconds straight projectile. It was like I was puking out of my bone marrow. It was so deep. It literally felt like I gave birth afterwards. It was so nuts and so intense. And I moved that energy, completely through that purge. And then it even took me like even still today, I'm still coming out of it. It was really, really big. So my mind isn't in tune with my body. Well, I mean, I think everybody has a little bit of misalignment from the body to the mind, at any given time, especially right now with these energies. This is all about getting that attunement to come into alignment, right? Like nobody is always 100% aligned all the time. That's a fairy tale. Human beings don't work like that, right? There's always work to do. There's always growth to happen. So that's why we learn. That's why we grow. That's why we do this work, because it is there for us to learn and grow. And the best teachers are also the best students, right? So I'm super grateful for my friends and for the people that I choose to surround myself with. We all need people to hold us accountable. If you're hanging out with people that are enabling your bad habits, you're hanging out with the wrong people, guys. You need to hang out with people that are going to keep you in check, that are going to help you grow, that are going to call you out with love, of course, but make sure that you're staying on the up and up and on the right path. Okay, so and this time especially is not only no different, but it's actually very, very predominant. Like we really need to really make sure that we're staying focused on keeping our growth perpetuating. Because if we don't, it's going to get stuck, because we have this energy between Saturn, of course, and Saturn has been being challenged all year, right? Between the Pluto and the Jupiter energies. So we are coming to this culmination point, and the real culmination point is going to be happening in November and December. All right, different places of culmination and breakthroughs and breakdowns. But this week we have the full moon going on at 8 degrees of Taurus, and that full moon is exactly conjunct. Well, it's a few minutes away, so it's just about exactly conjunct to Uranus. And with the sun oppose Uranus and the moon conjunct Uranus alone, that aspect alone, that's like there's going to be some unexpected shenanigans happening. So wherever 8 degrees of Taurus is in your chart, look at it, and that's the house. That's the place where it's really going to hit you and really going to. It's saying, grow. It's time to grow. It's time to put big boy, big girl pants on. It's time to make shit happen. It's time to be honest and authentic with yourself, honor yourself, and step into your authenticity. Like deep down in our gut, in our soul, we know what we want to be. We know we want to feel. We know we want to have. But there may be attachments, addictions, belief systems, thought processes that are keeping us from being there. It's like maybe a part of us might not believe that we deserve it, or we can have it, or maybe it's like, yeah, well, maybe next week, maybe next month. Nope, shit's coming now, guys. And it's so really what's happening at an energetic level is our lower self and our higher self. Our lower self really being the ego, and our higher self being our soul, right? They're speaking, but the higher self is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So that lower self is losing the fight. We all have this internal battle, this internal struggle that is going on. Now, this is a good thing. We need to allow the higher self to vibrate stronger than our ego so that we can create the reality that we want. That's what this is all about, right? So this Uranian energy is coming in, and I mean on Halloween, I mean, holy shit, right? This is going to be a trippy, crazy Halloween, and this is where we're seeing a lot of places. Thank God, not here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is actually still pretty good. People are thinking, practically and logically, and not getting crazy about this next wave going on that is completely fabricated, in my opinion. But some places are locking down again, and and instilling curfews, and I mean, just ridiculous freaking stuff going on. And with these new issues, Okay, that's Saturnian energy. That's the powers that be trying to control and try to instill this like totalitarian or authoritarian, you know, mindset in people to feed, like to drink the Kool-Aid. It's just, we ain't having it, guys. Like fuck that. It ain't right. It ain't legit. You're gonna see a lot of people moving here in the next couple of months. It's crazy, right? So, yeah, really, you know, this energy of the full moon, it's gonna be going on. Really, this whole like next like 2 weeks, week before the week after, you know, and we still have Mars retrograde, right? So Mars and Mercury retrograde. And actually, today is the 27th, correct? Yeah. So today, actually, we have Mercury back at 29 degrees of Libra, and we have Venus now at 0 degrees of Libra as well. So Venus in Libra, good thing. It's going to be great because Venus rules Libra, right? We're coming back into, you know, we've gone through a lot of stuff in relationships, even relationships with ourselves, you know, relationships in business, but really Venus and Libra, I'm feeling it's more about, you know, significant intimate relationships. And the Mercury coming back is like, what did we miss? Maybe we, you know, if we haven't learned a lesson completely from someone in the past, then they may come back in, or a memory from that may come back in. You might just be nostalgic, or something about someone in the past may come back to show itself again, to point out some things that we may have missed before. Okay. So allow that to be okay. If you have exes coming back, if you have old people from, you know, back in the day, like, hey, how you been? Be open to it, because it might actually, you know, be something good. They might be like, if you were with an ex, right, and, you know, when you were together, you both still had some growing to do, and there needed to be some changes, but you had to go your separate ways because you had to, you know, figure yourself out. You were hoping they figured themselves out. There's a pretty good chance that, you know, they went through some growth too. And if it's, just remember, like, if something is meant to be, will be. This is also where we have to remember that it has to feel right. And we're going to know if it feels right or feels wrong, because it's going to feel very right or very wrong. There's no in between, you know, there's no halfway right now. It's like, we know what side we're on. Even if we don't think we know, when the situation comes up, it's going to point out that, no, I know. And we also have the node switching to 20 degrees of Sagittarius in Gemini, actually tomorrow. So that means that the North Node is going to be exactly quincunx to the degree of Jupiter now. So it went through its quincunx with Saturn and Pluto. You know, it was with Saturn for a long time, like 6 months. Okay. And that was where, like, you know, shit may have been moving forward, but it was like, it was weird. Like there was still something to learn there. Now with Jupiter here, it's going to be a little bit different, right? Because this is where we're going to be feeling like, you know, okay, some good things can happen. They will happen. It's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. That's the deeper feeling that's going to come out when we're doing the work. Now, if you're still in this breakdown phase, like, I know a lot of people that are experiencing severe, like body pains, like, you know, pinched nerves, even sciatica, or, you know, like just imbalances in the body that are really just achy. Ooh, right. Especially if you're like over 30, you know, that, you know, as we get older, you know, our body starts responding differently. That's why this biohacking shit is so cool. And I think, like, literally every professional and high level amateur athlete should be doing some form of biohacking technique to optimize, you know, their body, especially right now. With all these changes going on, it's requiring a higher vibration of ourselves to evolve. It's happening. Like, so whatever it is you're feeling and experiencing, we're going to have to figure it out. We're going to have to go into it to learn what it's trying to teach us, because there are some very fundamental and significant lessons here that are being taught to us from these energies. Okay. And of course, we're also in Scorpio season right now. Right, we just entered Scorpio season, so we're going into that detective kind of energy. And Scorpio season for me, it's bittersweet sometimes. I love Scorpio energy. My Venus is in Scorpio, so I'm like women with like the Scorpio dominant energy in their chart. Oh my God, that energy is just fuck, man. It's so seductive. It's so sexy, but that matches my Venus energy, right? So I know for me, I've learned a lot about my relationship with women here just in the last week. My relationship with women between this situation that I've been represent, Serena, hell yeah. This has been like a very challenging experience, for me personally, regarding learning about my relationship with women. I was stuck on, a past relationship for a long time because deep down, I actually felt like I was never going to find a woman again that had the qualities and traits that I felt attracted to like that. But the reality of it was more like an addiction, right? I was so incredibly physically attracted, but a big thing about attraction is attraction does not equate to compatibility. And what do you need in a relationship to make it work, right? There are three different aspects, I believe. There's compatibility, there's attraction, and then there's love. So sometimes you get in a relationship because of compatibility, right? But there may not be the attraction there. And what does that create? Well, then you're going to be feeling like you're selling yourself short, and eventually it's going to end in resentment. At least now, these are my personal opinions from what I've learned. And some people are just made that way where they want to feel safe and they want to feel, okay, that way, like being safe and secure, and, either financially or actually in some other energetic fashion, all right? Just feeling safe, in the skin. Okay, Tucson. Well, that's cool, man. I understand, like Scorpio women can be very dark, very manipulative, very intense, very stubborn, but they're also very, very sexy and very sexual and just very sensual. So, but again, this is kind of stereotyped a little bit. So we have to be careful of, stereotyping too much. A lot of Scorpio energy can make it very, if you're compatible, if the attraction is there and you're compatible, it can be a very deep, intense experience, especially when it comes down to the sexual kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in order to have a good, lasting, quality, healthy relationship, I believe you need all three, right? You need compatibility. If you're not compatible, then how the hell are you gonna, like if one person wants to build a business with the other person and wants to be their best friend and, run around and make shit happen and brand themselves and everything, but the other person is like, I want to do my own thing and you can go over there and I want to do this, that ain't gonna work. You need to bring it together, man. So if you just, and then like, if you just have the attraction, then you're stuck in this like fight or flight / fight fuck relationship where you fuck all the time, but then it gets weird after, and then you're insecure and you don't know how to communicate, and it just breaks everything down. And then if you have love but no attraction, then that's like a best friend. And of course, your lover, person you spend your life with, should be your best friend, right? I believe that's imperative. But you have to have you have to have the compatibility, you have to have the attraction, and you have to have the love. Like I love a lot of women, but that I'm not attracted to, and like I love them like a sister, or like I love them like like a best friend, or like a second cousin or something. But so find. But in order to be able to have that with someone else, you have to have it with yourself, right? You have to have it with yourself. And occult side piece, man, side pieces are like low vibrational shit. Fuck that. Unless you're like polyamorous and everybody is on the same page and you're communicating about it, sure. But I mean, side pieces, like I'm not about that life. Because that just causes drama and problems and bullshit that I don't see why anybody would really want would want to deal with unless you're living that life. Then, hey, good for you. But, you know, not me. So yeah, these energies that are percolating until Halloween are because, you know, Uranus in Taurus opposed to the sun in Scorpio. This is very sexual. It's very about the physical pleasures in the body. It's about really identifying this sexual nature. And not to mention too, that we have Black Moon Lilith right now. That is, of course, now direct at the end of Aries. It's been going back and forth between Uranus and Mars here for basically the whole year. Next year, we're going to have Black Moon Lilith in Taurus pretty much the whole year. What does that mean? Well, you know, that's our shadow. That's the deep, dark stuff that maybe we don't want to look at, don't want to face. Okay, but being in Taurus, it's all about physical pleasure, physical expression, sensuality. Like that's like the energy where you just want to go like lay out like in your backyard naked and sunbathe, right? And it's like, I don't care if anybody sees it, or if you like have a significant other and you just want to go, you know, fuck out in public. Like that's awesome. So, you know, hey, do it up, have fun, but don't hide it. Don't be shady about it. Right? What's up, Blue Flame Integration? Welcome. Thank you guys for showing up. So, you know, a lot of really like taboo kind of stuff, and we can see it everywhere. Like on social media, you see a lot of people just stepping into their sexuality, which is hot, which is great, which is cool, right? Like embrace it. And then we see the exact opposite, where that energy is suppressed. And anybody that is suppressing this Kundalini sexual energy, you're going to have a rough time going through this next, you know, few months. I'm telling you, because it needs to be released. If you're suppressing it, you're suppressing yourself, because this is the energy where creativity is birthed from. And we need to be living our creative life. Like this is where, you know, our truth comes from. So as we birth this deeper sexuality, and sexuality is an expression, right? It doesn't mean sexuality doesn't just mean fucking. All right. It means how we express ourselves sexually. It's a self. If your sexuality is shut down, then where's your self-confidence, right? You're hiding yourself from the world, and that doesn't do anything good for anybody, right? So, okay. So Trinity 2020. Picking the right partner is rough these days. Okay, I want to address that because that's a belief system that is incredibly disconcerting, and it's actually incredibly that's a self-worth issue. Okay, because the way that you're feeling it, looking at it. Blue Flame Integration. Yeah, well, hey, what can I say? I'm feeling this, you know, sexual energy vibe going on, but. Finding the right partner, it's not about finding the right partner. It's about being the right you and being a magnet to attract the right person. Being okay with being on your own, with being who you are, right? Being your ultimate authentic expression of yourself and allowing the right one to come in. Not going out trying to find a partner. That shit don't work. Be you, go out there and just live your life. And when the right person is at the right time, it's gonna click. Now, granted, I haven't personally found that yet, but if you look at it then that's what you'll attract. I've been abused, so trust isn't my thing. Well, then look, we've all been abused, and this is again abuse. Okay, the abuse is the shadow work. And the shadow work right now, it has to be addressed. It has to be looked at. We've all been abused. The abuse is there to teach us. So the reason why we get abused is because we don't trust our own heart. Therefore, we go into something basically from an attachment or a limiting belief system that has to be identified and has to be worked through and dealt with, right? We we have to address those things within ourselves and learn to trust our own heart, because our heart can lie to us when we're living in fear, right? So, I've had shitty experiences in relationships, okay? Let me tell you, some of the fucking worst, all right? But I had to experience that in order to learn these parts of myself so that when the right one does appear, I will be ready, right? You have to love yourself. We have to learn how to love ourselves, okay? So this is where the work is, and this is where all this sexual stuff is. If this, like, look at the dysfunctional aspect of how sexuality is being blown out of proportion in the world today, right? Look at Hunter Biden's shit, all that, and all like the nasty, gross, fucking fucked up shit that is coming out in the world. That is the dark shadow aspect of this sexuality vibration. Okay, so acknowledge these energies within. It's like we can't suppress it, but we can't we can't overindulge, if you will, because they're both dysfunctional. We have to find that functional part that is in the middle, and we can only find in the middle when we dive into both sides and realize that they don't work. And you know how we figure out how they don't work? By getting hurt, by getting shit that fucks us up. Okay, so step in to the willingness to love yourself. Well, it's impossible to be aware of everything, but self-perception, be the conscious observer of yourself in the present moment as much as you can. Now, doing that constantly 24/7, that takes a lot of work. I mean, I personally have created my life so that I'm able to do that, right? Oh shit, I just lost my train of thought because I read a comment about Hunter Biden and all that sexual energy just goes right out the window. Yeah, but that is also sexual energy, right? It's the dirtier, hidden, nasty, lower vibration version of it, but that's also what's been coming out. Okay, so I know a lot of women that their sacral chakras just shut down, right? Completely just shut down. And because they've been hurt or they've been, and there's been a part of me that's been shut down too, you believe it or not. That's why I talk about this stuff, because I've been learning a lot of it myself with all these experiences that I've had. And, we have to create it in the ethers, in the astral realm before we actually create it in the physical realm. So when we get to the point where we're okay with being us, right? When we're okay with just living our life, being alone with ourselves, in our thoughts, in our minds, in our feelings, and we create a good process in life that is ultimately bettering our life and situation, that is when we have energy flowing efficiently through us, so that when that person does come, say like suddenly you're out, I don't know, at the grocery store, right? And you're walking around and then somebody just comes by us, hey, nice shoes. And you're like, oh, thanks, I just bought them. They're super blah, blah, blah. And you start a conversation about just randomly nothing. And then suddenly you look in their eyes and it's like, oh, well, hello, who are you? The energy just hits. I've seen it in my dreams, or, I've seen it in my visions, and I know other people that have had these experiences. So I know it exists, but yeah, self-awareness is everything. And we create self-awareness through just conscious observation of our own mind, of our own thoughts, and doing the work within. Like, we have to do what we love with hobbies, with business. Like, if you're living a life that you fucking hate, you need to get out now, right? It's time to leave the shittiness behind. So this is where, thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. This is where we have the opportunity to really face these things within us and not get sucked into, old patterns. This is where the patterns are breaking down. Okay. So, let's do this together. not like we're gonna have a well, okay, I'm just gonna shut up about that. So you guys get the point, right? Sexual energy, very important, and it's gonna be blasted through like, you know, crazy waves. So honor that, honor yourselves, and dive into the feelings and the experiences and the emotions. And then, of course, you know, as we move through the week too, you know, Mars comes to 16 degrees. Now it's pretty much gonna be slowing down to a stop, because it's going to go direct at 15 degrees. Okay, so this next 2 weeks, basically the first 2 weeks of November, Mars is going to be basically sitting there stationed, getting ready to go direct. So when Mars is sitting there like that, that energy is going to be heightened again. So we're going to get this massive explosion of this Kundalini energy, seeing all these things, breaking through and breaking down, and, you know, like, and whatever happens, whatever goes down with this unexpected stuff, honor it. If you get, you know, if you feel like you got a herniated disc in your lower back and you can't move, but you need to work for 14 hours, you're gonna have to reschedule those people, or call work and say sorry, I can't do it. Right? We have to honor it, and if we don't honor it, it's gonna make us honor it. Right? So, well, thank you. I heart you too. So on November 1st, right, we're coming right in to this energy. We also have Mercury now at 26 degrees, which it's going to stop at 25 degrees. So we have Mercury and Mars towards the end of the week that are basically going to be coming to a stop. Okay, we have Jupiter moving to 21 degrees. So that is going to be out of its exact quincunx to the North Node. So we get a little jolt of this, hey, good things are going to be happening. Let's go. You know, as these things are changing, it's like as these unexpected aspects of the energies are going to be hitting us. Now, this could be internal, meaning aha moments, epiphanies. This could be external, somebody coming back or meeting somebody new or having an experience on Halloween that's like, you know, like brings you out of your comfort zone, and like something happens and you respond in a way that you did not expect that you were going to respond. And this response is going to teach you massive amount of stuff, right? Okay. And then of course, like, you know, November 3rd, you know, granted it's a day after this week energy is done, but that is when Mercury goes direct, and that is when we have election day, which basically it's been election last month, right? Everybody's all over the place, which it's great to see everybody getting out there and voting and doing their thing. But shit is going to get crazy because, you know, after we come into this crazy, super heightened Uranus energy, we're going to have Black Moon Lilith now conjuncting Uranus again, which is going to make it very, like, that's where the frustration sits. That's where especially sexual frustration, big time, right? Chaos and cosmos. What are you talking about over there? You're a riot. Yeah, I think you're actually making me blush a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, Jupiter at 21 degrees. Coming in, you know, it's going to be coming into its conjunction with Jupiter here on I believe it's the between the 7th and 13th. It's going to be conjuncting in the exact same degree, right? So big energies coming through. And of course, on November 2nd, we have the sun moving into the second decan of Scorpio. You know, in each decan, it's there's like a set of different, you know, ways that this energy is coming through. The first one is usually it's bringing up awareness of something. The second decan is going into it, sort of like understanding it and being in the depth of it. The third decan is figuring it out, mastering it, learning the lessons, and then moving on to the next sign, right? But that sun is still going to be communicating with Uranus here for a good next, you know, 2 weeks or so. So to give it like 8-degree orb. So, you know, for the next 8 days at least, right? After the full moon. So that's why the energy is still going to be, you know, pumping. And then, of course, we're going to have Mercury going back over the opposition to Uranus as well. So Uranus is going to play a very, very big role here coming up. And we're also going to be having the Sun sesquiquadrate to the North Node. So when a sesquiquadrate it's similar to a square, but there's some past life stuff there that's going to be going on too. So past life or past stuff coming up that is destined. This is such a fated time, guys. So fated. It's like we've never seen in our lifetime. We never will see in our lifetime like this again. Hallelujah. Thank God it's almost over, right? Like next year is going to be so much better, in my opinion, right? Because this year has been, I feel, the year of the light worker, where we have been really in the chrysalis, undoing the tethering to our past, undoing all the bad habits, undoing all the shit. And we can see and feel the powers in the universe are shifting dynamics from dark to light. So next year is going to be the first year of, like, you know, next year is going to determine the next 30 years of our lives. Because now we've been imbued or infused with all of our gifts, all of our new energies, all of our spiritual aspects. And now it's time to step into our responsibility and use these tools and aspects to connect with communities. Shout out to Opportunity Community, by the way. And throw ourselves into that next level. That's why right now there's a lot of fated relationships coming through, but the fated relationship cannot come through if you're still denying your self-love, right? So step into that self-love, step into the power of you owning your sexuality, owning your divine femininity, owning your divine masculinity. The divine masculinity is going to come around to be owned more towards the middle and end of November, right? Because that's when Mars goes direct. So that's where, like, we're going to combine the higher octave energies of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And that's when everything's going to start to come together and line up. I know you guys can feel it. I can feel it. Really great and big things coming for the future. And we are about to really step on our own stage in our lives to change the world, really. I definitely feel that, you know, for the last 7 years, I've been on a path of spiritual growth and understanding my consciousness and really learning the ins and outs of my physical body, my emotional body, and my energetic body. And I feel that next year I will be reintegrating, you know, my fitness and my bodybuilding really back into the spiritual part of bodybuilding. I want to change the industry of bodybuilding and bring more consciousness to it. Like my friend Danny Reardon, Little Monster. Shout out to Danny. You know, she represents conscious champions. She has, you know, she brings that to the table, and I kind of see myself as the divine masculine version of that, right? Like, so big exciting things coming up for next year, guys. I'm going to be working with some great people and bring some integrative medicine knowledge for that ass, and applying it myself one day at a time. And I'm going to be showing all you guys exactly what it is that I'm doing. So you can see, like, a lot of people, like a lot of like athletes, you know, they come from a very dysfunctional place. They use their athletics or their physical body as armor or as a tool for validation and things like that. I did back in the day, right? So this is where I'm going to come back and look at, like, my initial drives and motivations for doing what I did or being, I appreciate you very much, Trinity. Thank you. This is where, you know, like, I'm going to be real and just, you know, all the difficulties and all the good, bad, and the ugly. And I'm going to show it. And I'm going to let you guys see, you know, exactly how this process works on a deep level. And athletes are so dysfunctional, but have Kundalini flowing like, well, again, that's what I was just talking about. Not all athletes do. Okay. But you're right. There's a lot of Kundalini in there, and some athletes are quite dysfunctional. Okay, but that's where we need to bring the awareness. We need to bring the light to the darkness in that industry, and that's going to be. Thank you, Chaos and Cosmos. I really appreciate that. I'm flattered. Thank you. So yeah, this is spiritual is attractive 100%. You know, but if it's spiritual with a banging body too, I mean, that's not a bad thing, right? So I want to have both. I gotta have both. That's just how I want to represent myself. So I believe that I can and will do it, and you know, like I'm gonna make that happen. Thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody in the chat. Shout out to you guys on Instagram and on YouTube. You know, you guys in the chat definitely motivate me and keep me going, and it's being held accountable from you guys that pushes me to want to keep doing these things, like the ozone therapy earlier, and put the fun in dysfunctional. Kim, of course, only you would say that. Jesus Christ. You're a fucking right. I love you, Kim. But so healthy banging. Yeah, I'm look, I got everybody all being like sexual on here and shit. It's hilarious. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Gonna be I'm making some changes here in the next month or so. So once those start to go into effect, I'm gonna let you guys know about it. But I'm gonna be doing more live stuff on Instagram, and on my YouTube, it's gonna be more of like edited content and energy, full moon, new moon, and monthly energy reports. But I'm really feeling, you know, getting more into the coaching and you know, all that stuff. So yeah, see, didn't even mean to be. Oh yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I want you guys to leave a comment for me or message me on Instagram and let me know what might be happening this week. That's like mind-blowing, breakdown, breakthrough. What the fuck just happened? Because I really am curious to know exactly what's going to be happening this week. It's going to be a trip. Expect the unexpected. Right. Also, don't forget, you know, if you guys like a reading for me, I would like to offer solar return readings. So it's going down like rabbits out here. Solar return readings. Go ahead and choose the Chiron option on my website, and next to your name, put solar return, and we'll make that happen. Coaching services are 22% off, and my astrology course is also 20% off. All right, big things coming up. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys on the next report. All right.